my name is Pablo, and this is my demonstration for Module 6 of the Rocket Elevators Full Stack Developer Program. This project focuses on connecting front-end and back-end layers in a full stack application using Node.js and Express.js for the backend API, MongoDB for the database, Mocha, Chai, and Sign-On for our unit testing, a pre-built front-end integrated into a project structure, and environment configuration through .env file. Now we're gonna launch the site that we have been working on. The server is listening. We're gonna press here the debug. We're gonna launch. We're gonna open the browser. And now you can see that the web is working. The goal of this module is to implement the standardized API response, handling reinforce testing practices, and expand back-end logic while ensuring consistent integration with the front end. There are different types of software testing, like unit testing, integration testing, and functional testing. In this phase of the project, we focus on unit testing because the code base is growing and segmented into controllers, utilities, and routes. We want to ensure each function behaves correctly in isolation before testing integration. And also, it allows us to catch issues early before they affect higher level features. This approach ensures high code quality, makes debugging easier, and supports future scalability and refactoring. Now, going back to our project, um, this is the environment setup and health endpoints. I started by setting up my env file with environmental variables like port, env name, and the MongoDB URI. Then I verified that my core health endpoints, hello, status, and error responded correctly using Postman. I refactor each controller to use shared utilities called response util, which standardize API responses across the app. For unit testing, we focus on Mocha as my framework, Chai for assertions, and Xenon to stop response methods. I created isolated tests for all three health controller methods. These tests don't rely on Express or server. Instead, they test each controller function in isolation. This allows faster feedback and makes the code easier to maintain and scale. Now, um, we're gonna run this test to show that everything is working. And here in the terminal, I can show that three tests are responding. Now we're turning on back again the terminal. And we're gonna head to our contact schema. So in this section of contact us form with MongoDB validators, I created this Mongoose schema and connected it to MongoDB Atlas database. As you can see here, a cluster agents show the seeding that was done on Mongoose for all the agents. Then, going back to our code, I use middleware with a validator library to ensure that only valid emails and phone numbers are accepted. All submissions are stored in Mongo and errors are handled without a problem. For the testing, using Postman, I tested both valid and invalid inputs to confirm validations and data persistence. As as I can show here, and send this get and has the response success, message hello world, and for error, and I send the same thing, type error message simulated error for testing. Um, Now for the quote calculator, the new endpoint called calc. Let's go back here to my code. Um, Here in the file quote.js, I created a dynamic quote calculator endpoint. Um, as you can see, it's depending on the path parameter. The logic calls a specific utility functions for residential, commercial, and industrial buildings. Once again, using Postman, each type of uses different formulas. Residential uses apartments and floors. Commercial uses floors and occupants per floor. Industrial uses number of elevators directly. I also added validations to all query parameters and pricing tiers. And the URL is working as expected, giving back a response in JSON with the parameters that are indicated. Um, Now, going back to the website, I'm going to show the table that I've been working on. It's working as expected. Um, so in this final step, I recycled part of the code of Model 3 and connected the front end to the back end to display the dynamic table of agents. As I shown, the agent's root fetches data from Mongo and displays it in a responsive style table so users can sort agents by name, fee or rating, filter agents by region using a dropdown, see formatted fees, color coded ratings, and a polished UI that matches Rocket brandings. I also implemented a validation middleware to ensure that the region query parameter is valid when using the agents by region endpoint. The table also includes loading spinners and is fully responsive for mobile users. So, in conclusion, in this model I have demonstrated API responses handling, schema-driven design with MongoDB, unit testing practices, validation middleware, and a clean UI integration with backend logic. These improvements make the Rocket Elevators platform more reliable, maintainable, and scalable. Thank you for watching.